LFC Daytrippers, brought to you by bookmakers.com.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the LFC Daytrippers, brought to you by bookmakers.com. It is full-time Reds. I'm your host, Matt. Joining me, the glorious opportunity has fallen at the feet of Emmet Kavanagh. Finished Wolves 3, Liverpool 0. This is going to be fun, isn't it, Emmet?
Yeah, really. I've asked, can we speak about the rugby instead? But sure, look, we may as well just get this out of the way.
I would almost prefer to talk about just about anything other than this game, but this is what we don't get paid for, so we may as well get into the bones of it. Like I said, bookmakers.com is sponsor of the show. Head on over to bookmakers.com if you're looking for the best odds on a little bit of sports gambling. Do it responsibly. If you don't do it, that's fine. There's other good things on the website as well, too. The odds on Liverpool winning the derby next week are probably juicy at the moment. So get on over there, and you may as well bet against Liverpool and try to soften some of the pain of watching us play. Please hit the like button for us. There's not much to like about Liverpool at the moment, but it does help the channel out. So, well, can you sum that up for us, Emmet?
Kev feels sorry for us anyway. Look, he says there, hey lads, sorry, thoughts and prayers.
Kev was sending pictures of pints of Guinness at 3 p.m. It looks all good in the O'Sullivan world.
Can I sum it up? I missed the first 15-20 minutes because the station I was trying to watch it on was acting up, and I'm glad I missed it. From what I believe, I haven't seen it back, to howlers at the back. And it's something that I've said for the last while, is that the team seemed to be playing like strangers. And I believe Gomez got in the way of a ball that would have just sat into Alisson's hands.
Yep.
It was like Keystone Cops, Matip's own goal, apparently. Again, as I said, I haven't seen it, but it's just more of the same, isn't it? We were speaking before we came on that every time the opposition get near a penalty area, you fear they're going to score. Every time we get near theirs, there's absolutely no fear of us scoring. I think still now, the last person to score a Premier League goal for us was Ox back on the 2nd of January against Brentford. And Wolves are the team that don't score. Apparently, they just had to stick in 3 passes, possibly could have been more.
Well, they looked elite in attack today, going up against our defense. I'll try to walk you through the first 2 goals, but before we get there, lineup came out: Alisson and net, Trenton Robertson at fullback, Matip and Gomez the only options at center half because everybody else is injured. We went with the same midfield 3 of Keita, Bajcetic, and Thiago again, and up front, Darwin came back in from the start to play with Gakpo and Mo Salah. Did you have any issues with that?
None. As you said, well, look, at this stage now, and I actually like Gomez, I'd nearly be sticking Phillips in and giving him a few games. And look, and I hate saying this, and I know we've probably said that, it's some of the players look like they're not even trying. Like I said, they look like strangers. There's no intensity in the passing. Passes are being left short. It's just hitting and hoping, and it looks like a team. Well, look, bar maybe Robertson and Bajcetic today. Other than that, it looks like a team that's going through the motions. Going through the motions. Sorry. Gakpo, I think, played on the left. I was glad to see that. I thought he did okay, but he telegraphs everything. I just think all over the park we need to be a lot quicker and have a lot more intensity. And we go back to everybody saying Pep Linder's book, Intensity. We have had none this season at all, anywhere on the pitch. We pick it up in parts and we look dangerous again, but then it just all falls apart when teams go down the other end and score. But in terms of lineup, what else? I'm in WhatsApp groups, and everybody's saying like Klopp has to take some of the. What else could he have done there? And that's the question I asked. And he said, took Fabinho and Henderson out and we're still shy. Okay, so are you saying you should put them back in? Because what's going to be different? I feel sorry for him. I said it to you beforehand. It cuts like a lonely figure on a bench, sitting down. Very rare you see him sitting down. And it's just like, I think you said, it surely can't be this bad on the train. Like, they look like they don't train together.
Yeah.
They look like a team that has just been put together.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the biggest takeaway I took from the game was that we're just not doing basic things correctly. Like the first half, our passing was so fucking bad. Just simple balls between the center halves, and it's not to feed or it's not a pass where it tells the player where you want them to go. It's 3 yards behind them, so they have to turn around and go and collect the ball. And any possible momentum that we could be trying to build up from the back is just absolutely killed. And I mean, we can't shoot. We had one shot on target in the first half. That was a decent shot from Darwin Núñez, forced a pretty good save out of Jose Sa. But other than that, like Mo he's kicking rugby tries. Like he's just way high and way wide. It's so just the most basic training ground stuff that you'd expect lifelong footballers, professional footballers to be able to pull off. And they're just not. But I mean, okay, let's see here. My notes.
Yeah, they've completely lost their confidence. Salah more than probably anybody. When he used to get the ball or when the ball would be played to him, his first instinct was to go towards goal. Now he's slowing the ball down, and it's so pedestrian. And I coached under nines, and you just constantly trying to drill into them. Just do the right things. Do the easy thing. Do the right thing. And we're just constantly doing the wrong thing, picking the wrong ball. There was a time where Matip came on one of his runs up, and like Trent is like, you're screaming. Trent is literally out on his right hand side, and he tries to tread a ball through, like a slide rule pass ball, and you're just like, just take the easy option. It's like we're trying to score the perfect goal, and it's just we're not scoring any goals.
Yeah, we can't even make a perfect 5-yard pass between two unmarked players. I mean, I take a pile of notes during the game. First thing I had to write down: 5 minutes, 1-0. Great. Like I thought Matip was closer to the ball. The ball kind of gets hooked into the box, and Matip just does nothing. He doesn't come out to challenge
like
for the
slow
ball.
motion.
Yeah, like he doesn't come out to challenge for the ball. Like I thought he was closer to it, and I was like, why did he let that bounce? And he might not have been close enough to it to get ahead on the ball first, but he didn't react at all. And Wang gets it, pulls it back into the middle, takes an insane deflection off of Joel's giraffe legs, off the far post. And despite the best efforts of Trent and Allison to keep the ball out, it's clearly across the line. And we have managed to create a new way of just giving a goal away in the first couple of minutes of a game. And like the only thing that everybody is going to be asking for is just don't concede first. Don't give away a stupid goal. Don't do anything stupid to put us on the back foot. Give their crowd the energy, give their team the momentum. Now, 5 minutes in, it's 1-0. Like, it's tough. Like we were so bad. And at 11 minutes, it's my next note. Nothing else really happened. I just wrote poor start, and then the next thing I wrote down: 11 minutes, 2-0. Wolves had a free kick wide to the right. They win the first ball. Cunha loops the ball in. Gomez heads it, but it really should just be an easy take for Allison. There was some talk in the Telegram group of whether Allison shouted or not, or whether he should have shouted. I don't know. Maybe somebody can figure that out in the post-mortem, but it should have been simple enough to do. Gomez gets absolutely no power on his header. It falls to Kilman. He heads the ball. Gakpo blocks it. It falls right at Dawson's feet, and he absolutely roofs it into the net, and it's 2-0, and it's just somehow goes from bad to worse. Like we started so badly, and we found a way of making it exponentially worse. Just cartoon defending. So yeah, that's what you missed. Like it was.
Thank God. As I said, I saw bits of it, but the one thing that stuck out to me is on 50. It was around about 15 minutes, and Núñez was pressing, and he's turning around, and he's literally shouting at the rest of the team, and he's kind of asking them to come forward. There doesn't seem to be a plan. I think you've spoken in depth about it before, about pressing triggers. where are they gone? I'd like to know what these are, or have they passed them around to the lads that weren't normally in the team? Does everybody know who they are or what they are? And there there doesn't seem to be any mojo about the team whatsoever at the moment, and it's painful to watch. We've spoken since the start of the season about them having a hangover from the quadruple, or they're tired, and I'm not even sure it's down to that anymore. There's a complete lack of confidence. I know somebody else said there that confidence, that professional footballers' confidence is for amateurs. Look, they're humans as well as being professional footballers, and I just think they're completely. I just think they're downtrodden. Like it's. I don't know where it gets better, if I'm being perfectly honest. Somebody else said there in the comments as well. Sorry, about what does Klopp do? Like change of formation? Well, I mean, you have to have the players to change formation. We're tired of talking about players coming back and Jota being back in training this week, etc. But look, that 11 that goes out there, you called it out. That should be more than enough to beat Wolves. Yeah. More than enough. And I was actually confident going into the game. Stupid me. I thought it'd be 3-1. I know you said 4-1, so you were worse than me. Yeah, I just, again, substitutions, I probably would have liked to see something at half time. But in fairness, we actually came out in the second half and were better for the first 15 minutes or so. But again, no end result. Again, Gakpo, nice work on the left-hand side, but he literally telegraphs what he's going to do worse than Arjen Robben used to do. And it's literally, I'm about to shoot into the top corner. Things just need to be done quicker. Aimless balls floated into the box. Jose Sa at a field day just cleaning them up. It's just, there's no cutting edge, unfortunately, at the moment. And there's nobody really looking to grab the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, really the only other thing to note from the first half I had was on 25 minutes, there was a ball that kind of got dribbled back through, and Joel Matip had a good 2-3 yard head start on Matthias Nunes and just about manages to get bullied off of the ball. Like it should have been 3-0. It was just absolutely lackadaisical, brainless defending from Matip. Just awful. And what else is right here? Nobody can pass or shoot. Yeah. To me, that summed up our first half. We couldn't string passes together, and anytime we got anywhere near the box, our shooting was fucking terrible. Like I said, one shot on goal in the first half. It's not even close to good enough. Hwang went off in the 39th minute, having done his hamstring. Dawson picked up a yellow card just on the stroke of halftime for taking out Nunes, but that was pretty much it. I mean, a good half for Wolves and an absolutely abysmal half for us. No changes at halftime. I couldn't really see what you'd changed though. Like, what would you have done at halftime in terms of substitutions?
I was happy enough with this starting lineup, but I was probably a bit disappointed that we didn't see Elliot. And I know we're saying more recently that we probably shouldn't see him as much as we are, but I mean, he's probably been one of our better players this season. You need to just change something. You don't know what's said in the changing room. Look, and in fairness, like I said, they came out and they were a lot better at the start of this. There was a lot more intensity at the start of the second half. But if we're talking about Klopp being ruthless, or he needs to, like, he can't be afraid to just take somebody out at halftime and change something completely. I think what was it? Was it the 74th minute or 75th minute? We went 4-2-4 when Elliot came on.
When Elliot came on, 76. Yeah.
Like, why leave it? Like, you're 3-0 down at that stage.
Yeah.
And we're past. Look, I know we pass the ball around at the back, and we try and get the team to come out to us, but we were passing the ball around and as though we were 3-0 up. There was no kind of get up and go to go and try and get back into the game.
No, I agree. Like, I think after halftime we came out better. I mean, right away we got our first corner of the game. We got another one shortly thereafter, and then we started to just kind of rack up a series of corners. And I think I'm not going to watch it back, but somebody can maybe watch it back and double check me on this. But I'm going to go ahead and say every single one of our corners went right to a Wolves head. Every single one. We used to pose a threat from corners. We have absolutely no threat from corners anymore. I don't know whether it's the delivery or the runs that the players are making or like the set piece moves they're trying to pull off. It's pathetic. Corner, nope, headed away. Corner, wasted. Corner, wasted. It's so bad.
Corners. 7 corners there too. And when we're playing as badly as we are, you're right. We need to be making the most of those set pieces. We need to be making most of a free kick. I thought when we got that free kick and Trent was over it, I thought, look, this could be a chance, and it's just milled straight into the wall. And then just a lazy follow-up shot. And it was just it just summed up Keita. I don't know how he didn't score. Of a 13-year-old in the next room here who probably have a better stab at kicking it. But how can a professional footballer, and I like Keita, and I actually think he's actually played all right in this last run of games, how can a professional footballer not strike a ball from literally, what was he, 15 yards out?
Maybe.
And it's like it's scuffing it, like. And even in the first half, he's just thrown legs at the ball, and it's coming back off Wolves players. I don't see where a goal comes from. Even Nunes threw on goal, and I think what Nunes needs to do is he needs to now stop. He's trying to absolutely burst the back of the net every time he has a shot. He needs to get a little bit more finesse on his finishing, because he literally just drills it straight at Salah.
Yeah, I will say you're really putting yourself out there. You've said so far in the show that you like Gomez and you like Keita. So, oh boy, you are going to catch some absolute pelters for those opinions. But
I put a D on the end of it. Liked.
I didn't think Keita was terrible today. He certainly wasn't good. Nobody was good. Let's just draw a line under that. Nobody with a Liverpool shirt on today was good. But Keita got himself into some good positions. He was driving forward. He was being that fourth man coming from midfield. He got the ball in the box a couple of times, try to lay it off to Mo. Mo shoots over or wide or, tamely. But we started in the second half getting Matip. Seemed like he got a lot more license to take the ball and try to drive through. And he did that 3 or 4 times, laying the ball off to Keita. But there's just absolutely no end product whatsoever. Darwin had one by 54th minute. We had some good interplay. He has the ball, and he should just take a shot, and he doesn't. And that's it, and it's all over. But you mentioned the free kick, 69th minute. Trent has a free kick, absolutely wasted, right into the wall. And this is when we had the impetus in the game. We were starting to pen them in. We were winning the ball back. They were lumping it long. We were getting the ball, recycling it, keeping the pressure on of okay, here we go. Free kick, dangerous position, good shooting range for Trent. We need something here. We need something here. Absolutely wasted. And 60 seconds later, the ball's on the right-hand side. We lose a challenge. John Moutinho gets the ball. He's given enough time to take his time, get his head up, take a look. He sees Adama Traore on the right wing. He lumps it into the channel. Adama takes the ball. He starts running, and we've got 4 players back. I believe at the time, who was at left wing for them? I don't even know. Maybe Raul Jimenez was out on the left, not really posing a threat. And Thiago, Joe, and Joel absolutely pay no attention to the midfield runner and Ruben Neves coming. Adama just plays the simplest square ball back into our area, right onto the penalty spot, in between 3 players, like a perfect triangle. And in the middle of the triangle is Ruben Neves with the ball. Slots it home easily. It's 3-0, and it's fucking embarrassing.
All ball watching, by the way. That's what they were doing. So we've literally made Wolves the team that couldn't score. We've made them look like they have a potent attack, and literally the man that has no end result got an assist today against our defense, and it was 4-on-2. Everybody ball watching.
Yep.
It was shocking. It's shocking. It's shocking how easy it is to score against us at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, the rest of the game just played out like how you would expect a 3-0 game where one team looks like they could play for 900 minutes and not create a goal. The last 4 minutes, I think all of injury time, I think the only time we touched the ball was they crossed one into the box and Simicast gave a kind of weak header back out. And they olayed and olayed and olayed us. And that is the second time this has happened now in the last couple of weeks. It happened down at Brighton when we lost 3-0 down there, where the end of the game finished with their fans getting to ole and singing "You're Getting Sacked in the Morning." And like, oh, it is so bad. It's so bad.
I missed that part as well because I was actually on the way to the laundry to collect my kit for tomorrow morning's match. So I couldn't watch any more of it.
Yeah. Got a few comments here. Jake Semister sharing some Klopp comments from after the game. It was a horrible start, 2 goals, which cannot happen like that, but it happened, and we were 2-0 down because of our own fault. I cannot explain it. I don't know if that, I'm presuming that's a Klopp quote, or maybe that's just a Zachary quote. And Darren Dunbar, Klopp says, we caused our problems for ourselves. I got asked if it was down to the 63 games last season. Yes, it had an influence. I mean, it definitely did, but there's no one reason for our horrific performances this season. It can't just be down to one thing. It just can't. We're so bad that it's a collection of everything. Off the pitch, on the pitch, last season, this season, 3 seasons ago, like,
there are people paid to foresee these things. Like, we've spoke for years about sports science and all this kind of stuff. So, like, surely a 63 game season, you need to bring in more in terms of backup and support for the team that you have. Don't necessarily need to be world-class names, but like, if you've come off a back of a season where you've pushed for a quadruple, and he's saying there, yes, it has an influence, that's something like that has to be foreseen, and we have to legislate for it. We have to bring in backup, and we haven't.
Yeah, Quantum Geek says he thinks that Klopp is ignoring a lot of advice. I mean, that's entirely possible. We don't know what kind of, internal power struggles going on between the coaching staff and some of the people that were there and have since moved on. We're probably never going to know that unless somebody writes some explosive tell-all book or goes on Piers Morgan or something like that to air the club's dirty laundry, which I don't think anybody really wants to see. I don't want our club to be, paraded around like that for tabloid sales and whatnot. But like, man, this is, I just want to do one of these after a win. Like, it feels like it's been like 2 months now since I've been able to do one of these after a win. So it's getting hard. I brought the thesaurus up here to help me out just because I feel like I'm using the same words. So, feeble, woeful, lamentable, deplorable, miserable, wretched, contemptible, all those words can work for us. Because, I mean, pretty bad day in terms of being a Liverpool fan when Everton managed to beat top of the table Arsenal, United managed to get a win, and we not just lose, but play terribly, embarrassingly bad.
So we've no league win in 2023.
Yeah,
we've a draw and an FA Cup win. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean the next few games coming up, it doesn't get a whole lot easier, does it? We've got
that's like I said to you before. I hope they say form goes out the window for a derby. I hope so, because Everton, all of a sudden, after all of they're going to get relegated. They go out and beat Arsenal today. So going into that game, they're the form team. So hopefully form does go out the window.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could get Woke Face to play for Everton when we play them on Monday, because he seems to be the key to us getting the ball in the back of the net, is just putting it into his own goal. If you had to give a man of the match to a Liverpool player, who would you give it to?
Probably Bajcetic.
Yeah.
For a kid his age, to be brought into to play in a team and expected to play in a team, because he's going to be busy in that position with the way we're playing at the moment. I think he's mature beyond his years, I think, at the way he's playing. You kind of nearly feel sorry for him being tossed in at the deep end, but he seems to be handling it fairly well. It's probably one kind of bright spark that's coming out of the last few games or 2023 so far. So I'd give it to Bajcetic.
Yeah, it's be pretty hard to think of anybody else that would be deserving of even being mentioned to being man of the match. And I agree with you. It was a Tompkins Times article that came out a couple of days ago, and one of the points he made was the emergence of Bajcetic is, a silver lining you can take out of this season. There's, it's putting lipstick on a pig at this point, but his advancement through the team has obviously been accelerated by our woeful performances and midfield injuries and things like that. And he's not doing himself a disservice. He's definitely, same with Harvey Elliott. They're definitely both being played more than we should need to be playing these two kids. But I don't think either of them have shirked or, looked scared of the occasion or anything like that. Bajcetic got ran a little bit in midfield by Manchester City, but that's to be expected. That can happen to any midfielder in the entire world when Man City's playing well. So yeah, Bajcetic certainly seems to know where to be. He's got a good eye for a tackle. He's not afraid to fly in there. He's calm with the ball under pressure, getting it in the middle of the park with players all around him. So, that's one for the future, hopefully. And, maybe can save us
there's a question. There's a question asked there. Sorry, I can't see where it is now. It was about results, and let me try and see if I can find it. It was about results. If results continue on the same, how long do we think that Klopp will be given? I think FSG would want to have some neck to even for that to be even part of a conversation. And the people that are supposed to be there to support him, again, we don't really know whether he had money or decided not to spend money, but if it's a case that they've not been giving him the money to try and strengthen or to try and find more players to support the team, they'd have a cheek to even kind of bring that into question, I think.
Yeah, my connection is being horrific there now. You were all broken up and jittery, so I agree. I really catch a whole lot of what you made there. I'm hoping this improves, or else I might have to, unfortunately, make this a little bit of a short show. I think we should address the elephant in the room, because there's certainly plenty of, I've seen some new names in the chat, which is always nice. Hey, if you're new to the channel and you're here to enjoy some Schadenfreude, that's totally fine. We've done it ourselves, I'm sure, with other teams' channels. All we ask is you hit the like button. It's a simple enough thing to do. It's free. You get to enjoy us coming on here and having to wade through this mire. But a lot of questions being asked about Klopp.
There's Kev's, and that's my fear there. So I don't think that they have any right, if it's the case that they've not been supporting him or they've not been backing him, that they would have any right to question him. But the fear is, and I did say it to you before we came on air, and I'm always one for calling out and poo-pooing the body language experts, but I didn't like the way he looked today. He cut a lonely figure sitting on the bench, head bowed, looking mystified at what he was actually watching, and that would be my fear. He has said a couple of weeks ago that he's going nowhere, but I mean, I struggle to watch them, and I've been watching them for longer than he has. So I can only imagine that it's probably getting in a little bit on him at this stage.
Yeah,
I'm still very much Klopp in. I'm not Klopp out.
Yeah, no, to me, I don't think I can ever see myself at a point where I'm going to question Jurgen Klopp. Like, I know when we went through the COVID defender injury crisis season of 2021, and we had lost 6 in a row at home, and it looked like it was the lowest possible low for the team. I had friends being like, wow, Klopp's going to get the sack, or Klopp's going to go. And it's like, no, like, just absolutely not. There's no way that's going to happen. Like, he's the guy to do it. And I mean, so Samuel here with the £79 super chat, reports saying Klopp could walk potentially. Reports are reports. I mean, until it happens. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Samuel. I mean, we'd prefer if you donated your money to our charity partner, whose link is in the description of the show. We'll get to that at the end before we wrap up. But it's I mean, a Twitter report is nothing. If it's going to happen, it'll be like a Cody Gakpo signing and it'll come out of the blue. But I think Klopp has more self-belief, belief in the team, and integrity to walk away when the whole thing is on fire. Like he couldn't be asked with trying to get the ship steered into the right direction. He doesn't strike me as that type of man or manager. I don't think FSG, somebody here had said it in the chat, like FSG will never sack Klopp. And Olivier, FSG will never sack Klopp. New manager means significant cost plus compensation to Klopp. 0% chance of that happening. That's one way of looking at it. But in our Telegram chat, again, people are starting to ask the question of like, is Klopp done? Is he going to walk? Are the owners going to think about changing manager? And somebody said, well, the question needs to be asked. And to me, the question is, who do you get? If you're rebuilding, and we are past the point of questioning it in my eyes, we are definitely in a total rebuild for this team. It needs serious, serious surgery done to it. If you're going through a rebuild of any team in any sport, the first thing you want to make sure you have is the figurehead at the top. You need to have the captain of your ship. Like if you're rebuilding your ship while you're sailing, you want to make sure that you've got a captain there. And who do you get besides Klopp? Tommy Tukes? Nobody wants Tommy Tukes. Pochettino? Like, if Zidane was an option, maybe, but that doesn't seem like it's a likely possibility to happen. To me, the best person to turn us around is the guy we've already got, Jurgen Klopp. So to me, I find it crazy that there's Liverpool fans that have watched what Jurgen Klopp has done for this team that are now starting to question whether Jurgen Klopp is the right person moving forward. For me, my opinion, when he leaves is entirely up to him. If he wants to walk, then he wants to walk. That's fine. He'll still be revered. He's still a strong candidate for the next bronze statue outside of the ground. But if he wants to stay, then I'm 100% behind Jurgen Klopp because I can't see who you're handing the team over to and expecting results to change. Where are we going to get Dyche? Allardyce? Maybe that's just me.
It's if Thomas Tuchel takes over, I can tell you, Gav will walk. That's one thing I can guarantee. Now, look, the worrying thing is there. Kev has said that it's Jan Arge Fjortov that has actually said it, and then there's more people actually saying Fjortov is very close to Klopp, though inside from has inside info and has inside info from Germany. Yeah, that's come here. Look, I'm old enough, and there's probably plenty of people in the chat old enough as well to remember. And the worrying thing that is that it was a game against Everton when Kenny Dalglish decided to walk. So, and I think we've spoken about it before, that it'll be as devastating, I feel, well, definitely to me anyway, maybe to these people that are calling Klopp out, it won't be, but it'll be as devastating to me if Klopp decides to walk.
Yeah. Jake Smister says, Matt, fans are fed up watching us get battered every week and you can't blame them. No, I can't. But I'm just saying, if you're going to ask the question, try to actually think through what the answer is in your head. Like, I get the emotional reaction of like, get rid of all the play. Like, you see some people saying like, we got to get rid of Gomez. We got to get rid of Matip. Konate might be an injury prone player. Virgil might be over the hill and done. What's going on with Trent? That's our whole team you're talking about getting rid of. That's not going to happen. It's not realistic. So let's try to, like, we're all in the depths of despondency because we just had to sit through another horrific performance from this team. And it looks like we're not going to be getting better anytime soon. And none of us have any answers. But if you're going to ask the questions, at least try to think it through logically. And to me, I don't think there's a proper answer to who replaces Klopp if Klopp goes. Again, that's just my opinion.
I think Mark Kavanagh says it best there. He says, fans can question Klopp without meaning Klopp out. Yeah, 100%. I agree. There's certain things that can be questioned. Like they're saying there that Klopp, some people are saying Klopp isn't the person to turn it around. I don't think anybody is better positioned than Klopp to come in and turn it around. My fear is, and I said it last Sunday, I'm worried that there's something not right. Like, there's obviously something not right off the field in terms of there's people leaving, but I think there may be something not right in terms of between playing staff and coaching staff. I just have this horrible fear that something isn't right there.
Well, there's definitely issues. I mean, it's from root to stem. There's something wrong with the team. Like, something smells in the state of Denmark, I believe is the saying for this. But like, I believe in Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp has given me the best moments that I could ever possibly ask for as a Liverpool fan, and I'm willing to give him as much rope as he wants. He might use that rope to pull us out of the mire. He might use that rope to make a noose for himself. But I'm willing to give him that rope because I don't see who's the better alternative to it. I mean, yeah, Xabi Alonso might become a great manager, but I think that's asking a fair bit to expect him to go from his first full season at Leverkusen and coming over and taking over a full rebuild at Liverpool. So, yeah.
There was people that wanted Gerrard in charge 2 years ago when he was ripping her up at Rangers. Then he goes to Villa and is gone within inside 6 months or something. So, look, you need to let these managers look. You would think that you would hope that Alonso will become a successful manager, but it's way too early for any of them to be even trying to come in and take over a club as big as Liverpool.
Yeah. Darren Dunbar is a good comment. He says, look at AC Milan. They won the league last year and have fallen off a cliff this season. Maybe it's a physiological thing for both teams. And I mean, yeah, I don't know if they've got the same issues with an aging squad as we do. I mean, they got Olivier Giroud playing for them, so they've got some age there, undoubtedly. But, look at Manchester City. Man City is a shadow of what everybody would have expected them to be, because you expect teams like us and City from last season operating at such a high level that you add a few pieces to it. You expect them to get better. Even, everybody gets older. That's the way that aging works. All of our players are a year older than they were last season. But, we added Darwin Núñez, who's got this pace to it, But the form of our players, and I just want to see us score some goals. Like, at this point, I'd be much happy. Like, if we're going to lose, can we at least lose 3-1?
I honestly don't see where a goal's coming from.
No, me neither. And
that's the worrying thing.
It was Mo Salah's 200th Premier League game today. He scored 125 goals in those 200 Premier League games. Like, the man is an absolute lethal world-class goal, or has been. And I, for one, was more than happy to see him get his new contract. Huge wage increase for it, but he's earned it. And since then, he's been awful this season. I mean, yes, his numbers are still there. His underlying numbers are still there. Coming on and scoring a quick-fire hat trick in the Champions League against the already beaten and out-of-it Rangers team really helps boost your numbers up. But we need to get something at the end of the pitch. Like, I'm willing to give Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo time to settle into the team and prove themselves and to, get acclimatized to the speed and the pace and the physicality of the Premier League. But Mo Salah's been here for years. He's the guy we should be leaning on to get us through moments like this where we've got nothing. But I can't recall the last time that Mo Salah's had a good game.
Mm-hmm. No. I agree.
There's
a comment. There's a comment there. Mane is a huge loss. Mane is a huge loss, but he doesn't fix this mire that we're in at this moment in time. There's a lot more wrong with the team than missing Sadio Mane.
Yeah, can he play midfield?
Bayern Munich won their first game this year. They haven't won a game until they beat Mainz, I think 4-0 the other day. And he's at Bayern Munich. Maybe he wasn't playing.
And yeah, Jono says Mane was here when we lost 6 home games in a row. So, yeah,
it's too. Look, I get. Yeah, yes, Mane was an unbelievable player. He will be missed. However, like I said, if Mane is still here, we're still in this position for me. If you ask me, the only hope that I can see a goal coming now is, like I said, I don't see where a goal is coming from. We've seen Jota this week. Look, let's talk about a few positives. Jota's back in training. He trained with the first team, I think, on Thursday or Friday. And he's due to be in full team training next week. I think he said the same about Van Dijk as well. So look, there are kind of positives on the horizon. Maybe Jota is going to be the next person to score a goal for us. Be nice. Yeah, it'd be great to have him back.
Yeah. I mean, see, like we've now descended into a territory that, you know, a year, 18 months ago would have been unfathomable. We're talking about Klopp needing to leave. We're talking about selling Mo Salah. You know, I floated a crazy outside of the box idea, not that I'm subscribing to it, of selling Allison and keeping Kelleher to, you know, sell to buy, that kind of club mentality, to put some more coffers into the old hypothetical war chest. And things like this are actually starting to gain a little bit of traction now. It's strange, you know. Do you try to get rid of Mo Salah and completely write off our old front three for next season?
I mean, this time last year we were all pulling our hair out, dying for him to sign a new contract. So, like, players go through poor. My fear was when he scored, when he got a new contract, that it would kind of be like he gets paid regardless. When it was performance based, there was a hunger there. And again, I'm not saying it's something that he does on purpose, but it can be a subconscious thing. We've seen it loads of times before with Ozil. We've seen it with Aubameyang. They get their big contracts and all of a sudden they fall off a cliff. You would like to think it's more of a form thing with Salah and that he will come back into form. But again, look, I think there needs to be a ruthlessness there. People say that Klopp isn't ruthless. They talk about Pep being ruthless. Like Cancelo's gone. He let Sterling go. You can't be afraid to let these people go, but you need to be making sure that you're replacing them. So if it's a case that it's not working in a 4-3-3, maybe Salah only really kind of works in a 4-3-3. So do you sacrifice him? Kev O'Sullivan says there, Fabinho can go, Matip can go with him. So look, you may see a big clear out in the summer. But I think it's a case of the 4-3-3 needs to stop. It doesn't work. We need to kind of, when they talk about Klopp having to rebuild his second Liverpool team, I think he needs to do it from the ground up, and possibly change his style of play completely and reinvent the team, because it worked for, like, formations and style of play. They work for a certain amount of time before other teams figure it out. And this season just looks like everybody has figured us out. And we've not really changed anything. Every other year up to the start of this year, we've actually changed something. Like last year was the high line. Previous years, we changed to the 4-3-3 from a previous formation that he played. And maybe we've just stayed still for a little bit too long, and people and teams have figured us out. That, on top of tiredness, coming off the back of a long season, is only extenuated it. So.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about enough. 45 minutes, and my connection is being absolutely dreadful on me, so I'm missing huge chunks of this, and I'm dropping in and out. So I think that's good enough for one post-match show, and we can think about doing this all again for Everton, and can spend the rest of the week with a full raft of shows going through another absolute car crash of a Liverpool performance. So yeah, it should be good. The lads will be in on the Fatback 4. Is that you again on Sunday, Emmet?
Yeah, can't wait.
Can't wait. Yeah, it's I'm sure there'll be some opinions brought to that as well too. It's real Groundhogsy Day stuff again and again and again for us here. But going into next week, yeah, we'll have a full raft of shows for you guys, all brought to you by bookmakers.com. Head on over to their website if you're into that sort of thing, and do it responsibly, please. Hit the like button for us if you can. We do appreciate it. Share the show around. If you got any other Liverpool fans in your life that aren't already listening to us, please let them know, because get them into the chat. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's the best chat going in terms of fan media out there. It really helps take the sting off of having to do shows like this, of getting to read your guys' comments, and we all really, really appreciate it. And of course, the most important thing is our charity sponsor. 12 women in Dublin played GAA, are running the Dublin Marathon to raise money for breast cancer awareness. So the link to the charity is in the description of the show. It's on all the social medias for the channel. Go on over there, help them out. As much money as you can give. We know that times are tough and budgets are tight, but trying to raise money for a really, really good cause. So we appreciate it. If as long as it just keeps rolling in, we're going to get to that 20,000 euro mark before we even know it, and we'll have these women out running for hours for a good cause. So, anything else before we get out of here, Emmet?
No, I think you touched on it there. Look, it is always, and I've been in the comment section for a good few years before actually getting in front of the camera, but it is always good. There's always loads of differing opinions in there, but it's always respectful. No one ever really having a go at it. I've watched other ones where people are calling, to reduce to petty name calling. At least everybody respects everybody else's opinion in the comments, and the shows wouldn't be as good without the comments because we use them to bounce off, you know. So thanks. I know everybody's saying thanks for us for showing up, but I think we need to thank everybody in the comments for showing up as well. We'll get through it together.
Yeah, Archie Doolin just trying to put a positive spin on things, and I appreciate it. Up the Reds, we'll bounce back. A ball doesn't bounce until it hits the floor. Please tell me we're at the floor, Archie. Please tell me that there's no more free fall for us. We got to start bouncing back up eventually. But I said that after Brighton, so who knows? All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on Full Time Reds. We'll see you guys all around. Adios.